And that, friends, is the 9 o'clock edition of the news. This is John Scott reporting for Lester Smith. Next news as it happens, next scheduled news tonight at 11 o'clock over WOR Radio 710, The Talk of New York. And now stay tuned for Gene Shepard, next over WOR New York.
Hey boys and girls, it's me. And we're in the repair layer. And today's the day. We're going to start tearing into this L600 from 1954. You may have your 600 ready. What we're going to do now is we're basically going to remove the chassis. I've already taken the liberty of taking things out like the manual and the suction cups. And remember this big battery that was in there? I took that out. Okay. So making room. I've got some in place. I've got a little cup here where I can put all my parts. And now we're going to tear into this thing. And we're going to basically pull the chassis out and evaluate what's going on. If we got enough time, we'll even maybe put some... if everything looks okay, maybe we'll go ahead and put the Variac to it to see if it'll play on electric. So let's get started. Alright, so basically what we need to do is almost similar to what we did with the H500 that we did last year. And that's basically we're going to need to remove this bezel so we can open this up. One thing that's a little bit different than on the 600 series from the, say, a G500 and a H500 is down here in the lower, if you look at the lower left of the picture here, got a dial light and it's a spring-loaded switch. Oh boy, is that sticky. Oh, I ain't even coming back. Alright, well, we can fix that up. And if you have an R, a T, a Y, a or B 600 radio, now remember this is an L600, so this is a little bit unique. You also have a headphone jack here in the front, so you'll need to remove that nut. Okay, and also we're going to take these two screws out which hold the dial light in place, as well as remove these knobs. Okay, the two knobs, and then we have a total of 7 Phillips head screws. And just like the H500 that we did, we've got 4 long ones here up top and 3 short ones on the bottom. So once we do that, then the bezel should come off. So let me get started on that. Okay, all the screws are off. The knobs are off. The 2 screws holding the dial light switch are now off. I don't have to worry about the headphone jack because there is none on this. Okay, and I'm going to pull this out through the front. Now, just like the H500 radio we did, hopefully these buttons they're just sandwiched in between the band switch on the chassis and, you know, the bezel itself. So these should pretty much stay in here when I go to take this off, unless I take it and hold it upside down. So here goes. Just pulling across the top of it a little bit with my fingers. I suspect that this has never been apart. And there it goes. It's there. Whoop, that just popped out. That was the switch. So now there's the bezel. There's the buttons. And I'm just going to temporarily just put this on the side here. So now this is what you should see. And again, if you have if you have a later version, then you're going to have the headphone jack right about where my finger is right here. So here's the dial light switch that we just had on the front, and here's the chassis. So now we got to go in the back and take apart some things as well. Okay, now we've turned the radio around, and here's the back. And what we need to do is we've got a few more things we need to take off and then unbolt it. So one of the things we need to do is we're going to grab this. This is the wave magnet that's located on top of the radio, the one that with the nice gold inset. Okay, if you have anything other than L600, it'll just be all black with white lettering that says wave magnet on top. I'm just going to take my thumb and index finger, wiggle it a little back and forth. Now if it doesn't want to come out, don't force it because you just rip the wires off. What you want to do, I just reached over, I have the camera on a tripod and I'm trying to get a good picture. I'm taking this, here's just a flat screwdriver. I'm just going to work it a little bit back and forth. Okay, somehow I get the feeling that this has never been out of the radio. You can see how nice it's coming out. Now I can go in there, pull it a little bit, and there it is, the 3-pin thing. Alright, next we want to get rid of the this is the wave rod antenna for the short wave bands, and it's actually in a little thing over here. Just going to pull out with this screwdriver, just twist it a little bit. That pin comes out. So now that's disconnected. Next, now this is kind of funny because this was actually missing on the H500, and a lot of these, when they've been worked on, this is usually missing. And I'm just going to roll the radio over a little bit so you get a better view, hopefully. Now let me get a pointer. Now you can see here we have our band switch assembly here, but if you look up top, there's a arm or a piece that comes up, and this is what's holding the band switch assembly all together here in the center. But there's actually a Phillips screw right at the end where I've got this little pointer. I know the light isn't too good in there. Maybe you can see a little bit better now. Okay, well, that actually holds the band switch in place to the chassis, so it doesn't move around when you hit the buttons. So you got to take a Phillips screwdriver. Oh boy, yeah, this has never been out. And just take it out. Here, let me get a little bit better quality screwdriver here. Maybe that'll come out a little bit easier. There we go. And it's even got some tension on that. You can see it's actually coming down as I unscrew it. Alright, we'll take that screw out. Okay, and there it is. That's what it looks like. Okay, put that in my little tray. Now, last but not least, just like the H500, I'm going to try to lower this. Maybe let me lower the camera. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to put a light under here. Hang on a second. Okay, I've got my horrible freight light. And you can see, hopefully maybe you can see that from there. There's a bolt there. And then there's one way back here. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. Let me turn this around a little bit. Let me move this out of the way. Move this up high. And you can see there's a hole here. Okay, and there should be another, yeah, there is another nut up there. So we're going to need to take those two out. And hopefully that'll free up the chassis. So let me do that, and then we'll pull the chassis out. Okay, I've taken the two bolts that hold the chassis down to this piece of wood right here. These ones look like this. You would need this particular one. I used a socket in here, and then one underneath it here. If you got a long extension, you could even lay the radio on its side and go through. There's holes on the bottom on either side too that are catty corner, and then the H500 has them as well. But I just get contortional with my hands and just go in there like that and take these out. So should be all ready to slide it out through the front now. Okay, now the big moment. We're going to try to pull this guy out through the front, and let's see how this is going to work here. So I'm just going to put one finger in behind this. Oh, looks like it's going to be okay. Alright, now it's starting to come out. Now before you take it all the way out, there's one thing you're going to need to do. Now you see where this little cover is right here? That's where the dial light is, and there's actually a clip on here with a light. So what you need to do is you have to remove it before you take the chassis all the way out. So you can only take the chassis out so far, and there's your dial light that lights up the dial. That actually goes in behind this little cover right here. Now this is out. Now we, all the other wires are out of the way for the dial light switch and the headphone jack if you have one on the front. This whole thing comes out now, and there it is. Now the other thing is I wanted to look and see if we had the 50A1 ballast tube, and we do. There's one right here. So this is a good thing. And you know what? Now we can flip this guy over. Let me get the case off the bench, and we'll have a look at the chassis and see what that looks like. Okay, boys and girls, I really did want to kind of fire it up, but I think this video is getting a little bit longer. I don't want to make these videos way too long. So part 2 of the 600 series low budget Resto. We'll start that maybe next week, and we'll just open it up with putting it on the Variac and seeing what happens. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and we're just going to keep doing this a part at a time till the radio is completely done. And hopefully you can do one of these on your own if you don't already have one and you were just kind of sitting and waiting for me to actually get to it. So anyway, we'll catch you next time, and thanks for watching again. So take care. Bye.